to produce the work. So sometimes I'll go light on pencils and heavy, knowing that I'm going to give myself a lot of time with inks, and vice versa. Sometimes I'll go heavy on the pencils, knowing that all I'm going to do is switch off and just ink over my pencil lines. It's really weird.
Well, me and Randy were saying earlier about Cy Barry, who did the Phantom. I saw an interview with him, and he used to leave a lot out because he was going to ink it later. There was no point in him drawing it because he knew where it was going to go.
Also, well, you pencil it enough to see it in your head. That's what you do.
Yeah.
But also, if you're working well with an editor or a client, and they know that I'm just looking at like some of the very last pencils I did for Doctor Who Adventures, and I'd gotten, because I was at the end of a 2-year run, I'd gotten to the point where they didn't need to see like heavy duty pencils.
Yes.
And I can see just how light they are compared to the Batman pencils I did, that I've been doing, because I'm only sort of 6 issues in. So you can even when you're inking yourself, there's a difference depending on the output, what you're doing it for.
Oh yeah, yep. Hey everybody, come on in. We see you out there. We know you're there. Hit the chat. Say hello. It's 5 a.m. where I am. It's mid-morning where Russ and Glenn are. We're here for Comics by Night.
Doesn't feel like it.
Still feels early in the morning or late in the afternoon?
I don't know. I've got this awful bloody cold that I got this week.
Oh, man.
It came out. Well, I trained 3 times this week, and then yesterday it just came out. I used a whole toilet roll just on blowing my nose yesterday. It was horrible.
Yeesh.
So sorry if I cough and splutter. I'll try to turn it off. But so I was up at 7 o'clock this morning because I couldn't sleep. So it feels like half the day's gone already, but at the same time, I'm deathly in requirement of coffee. So
yeah, that's like what 1 hour time. So it's been up since 1 a.m. last 4 hours. So it's 11 where you're at now, right?
It's 10.
10.
5 past 10.
5 past 10.
Okay.
5 past 10. But I believe the government may well change the time because they've got bugger all else to do, of course.
Well,
and they're not doing anything wrong, so they might as well cock up somewhere.
Yeah, everything's fine.
Everything's fine. Everything is fine. Just there's no fire behind me. Everything's fine.
Yeah. There's no such thing as inflation either. Here we go.
No, apparently, no.
It's all in the mind.
It's all in the mind. Here's the opening.
What was that? This is not a charade. We need total concentration. Now, once again, this time, with theory.
The views and opinions expressed within the video content found on the Indie Comics Network are those of the speakers and do not necessarily reflect the views or positions of the Indie Comics Network or its sponsors.
Always got to run that opening, just in case we say something that we're not supposed to. We're a light and positive channel here. Yes. Anyway, hello, everybody. Come on in. I'm your host, Randy Zimmerman. Russ Leach is here. Glenn Fleming is here. And Cousin Eerie is here as well.
Oh, Cousin Eerie.
Cousin Eerie. You weren't here for the first part of this, were you?
Yeah.
Russ,
well, obviously, I didn't leave much of an impression.
Sorry.
No, we were all astounded because Rosemary was here, wasn't he?
Yeah, it's like when you're in a room with Rosemary, there's no room left. He fills it.
I got to send him a link. I got to send him his own little special, just in case he's up, so he can't say that I didn't send it to him. Give me just a second here. That's the great Frazetta cover.
Yeah.
For that issue, this is Eerie number 3. We are in the middle of.
And just imagine Rosemary receiving that request and just like telling his slave girls to stop peeling the grapes. Back off, guys. I've got a mission to do.
It's like Conan the Barbarian with an air tank on.
There we are. No, that's actually Frazetta right there. You can tell by the hair.
Yeah.
It's always the hair.
It's great, isn't it?
There, I sent him his own special invitation. We'll see if he shows up.
Just those ribs down the ribbed muscles down the front of that fish man.
Yeah.
Just.
It's fantastic, isn't it?
I was flicking through some Frazetta black and whites last night, just inks and just sighing a lot.
Yeah. It's all composition. Just great. The thing with Frazetta, from what I understand, is he treated inks the same way a lot of people do, or not inks, but paints. A lot of the ways a lot of people digitally color. He was on it for an hour, maybe an hour and a half, and he had it already set out in his head and just boom, just put it right on the canvas.
It down. Wow.
Yeah.
That doesn't make me feel small and insignificant at all.
Just like the skilled tradesman, you know. Just boom, there, it's there, you know. We're at a point here in Steve Ditko's career that he is. I think this is right as Spider-Man was running, right?
Yeah, this is. I think this is 66, isn't it? So it might just be about to leave Spider-Man.
Mm-hmm.
So he's cooking on gas right now.
Yeah.
He's on it. He's on it like a car bonnet.
And here he is unleashed. Look at that, solids and.
I've said it before. Look at those fantastic folds. Steve Ditko does the best folds, especially that guy on the right-hand page where he's coming through the door, other side. Where your hand is there at the bottom.
Yeah, and the panel at the bottom, the way that the trouser is draping off his hand in his pocket.
Yeah.
Yeah,
that's superb.
It's fantastic, isn't it?
And how many lines are actually there? It's all about placement.
Yeah, it's all solids. Yeah. All of the lines are in the background. That's all cross-hatching.
Yeah. See that very first panel where the guy's coming into the office and he's got his feet on the desk. I wonder how many times in these pulp noir things that you know the I remember that Jack Nicholson film, the Two Jakes, where it starts off with his feet on the desk. Do you remember that?
Oh yeah.
And he's the private investigator. And I wonder how many of these old films that begin with that sequence where the feet are up on the desk and then peering over the newspaper.
We have a combination of solid lines, cross-hatching working here. Yeah. Just amazing ink, mixed with the solids, of course.
And the broken balustrade there.
Yep, right there. All the wood grain in the front desk coming through radiator here on the side.
See all that wood grain on that desk sets his coat, doesn't it? Yeah. Sets his coat out.
No lines.
Yeah, because there's no line around the outside of it. Again, you can see where Steranko may have been affected by that because he used to do that kind of thing all the time.
Yeah,
and like Frank Miller.
Yeah, very much so.
We were talking radiator.
About Sin City earlier off the air.
Yeah, it's fabulous, isn't it?
Little mail slots here.
Yeah.
Just great. The focus on the key, the room key, and pointing at it. Just beautifully done.
Cheating, massively cheating as well. Like he's hanging in midair.
He's moved the wall, hasn't he? Isn't that
good? Yeah.
It's just brilliant. Just absolutely brilliant.
How can I show these two guys and the key in the same shot? I'll remove the wall.
You don't need the wall.
I don't need a wall.
Just want to focus on the key. Yeah. Just a great panel. It's just a great page. This is a very classic story as well. Very much a showpiece for anybody. These Eerie's were anyway. Any illustrator that was on there was really showing off. Doing their very best work.
Someone turning up in the mirror behind him. Ooh.
A lot of people showing up in the mirror behind him. It's a very mystical mirror. It's got all these extra horns on it.
Yeah, well, if a mirror's got horns on it, don't buy it, kids.
It could be. Just sitting in
the guy looks like a cross between Peter Parker and Jameson, doesn't he?
See a little bit of Adam Strange, or not Adam Strange, Doctor Strange sitting here.
It's a bit Clark Gable.
Jameson chair. There's some Jameson right there.
Ah, Jiminy. Look at that. there's things in the mirror. She's got a nice dress on.
Yeah.
What a great mirror.
Tell the other guys to go away. I'm gonna be
Yeah.
haunted.
Yeah,
Let's
I'm
be
gonna
haunted by
haunted.
her. Yeah.
Yeah. Do it with some style.
Mm-hmm. Again, a great use of solids here.
Yeah.
He may
It's
actually
phenomenal.
be that guy. I don't think it's the devil. I think that's a Klingon. Since this is
Yeah.
1966, that's how they looked in 1966.
Very true.
No ribbed heads back then. The Great Experiment.
Even more zombies.
Love it.
Wow.
Look at
They
that.
just take him away.
Oh no, I've looked in the mirror and I'm dead.
A lot of the good Lord look. There.
Yeah.
That's great. That
It is.
I love that. The way he's reflected in the mirror there. So he's now on the other side of the mirror,
Yeah.
Yeah.
and he's dead in the real world. And so he's presumably he's waiting for those people to come back.
And look at how wildly he goes in his perspective here on the last page.
Yeah.
Just down,
That's
down,
just-
and then boom. Yeah.
Incredibly eerie.
Yeah. That's what it's there for. Isn't that great?
Love it.
And then your Jack Davis cut in here at the bottom. Just save a couple inches at the bottom of the page, Steve, so that we can kick it into the next one. Oh, okay.
As you say, picked a hard way to skip out on the hotel bill.
Yeah.
At least he got to sleep permanently.
This is like his Charlton work, only turned up about 5 notches. You know,
Guffaw.
just great stuff. Body there on the bed. And then we turn the page.
Ooh.
Master Antonio.
Look at this. Again, the lighting.
Beautiful line work.
Yeah.
Just
Yeah.
something that you look right the way through on all this. It's all about the lighting. It makes it all these stories. Every one of these artists has been, I think, bar one, has been incredible with the lighting.
Again, you're
It's like-
working in black and white too, so you get to play like
Yeah.
that.
Yeah,
You don't have
like
to
a-
worry about somebody's coloring it. Just
It's like
No.
a Bernie Wrightson page, isn't it?
oh, very
no,
much so. Yeah.
I mean, when you get to do everything with the ink, it frees you. I think I've only been able to do it a couple of times, and I'm looking forward to doing it again. But when you're drawing for, it's weird because some I have had some artists, professionals that I've spoken to say, oh, you need to do more of this, you need to do more of that, like more rendering or more shade or what have you. And it's like, well, how far do you think that the colorist is going to go? Because if all it is just laying down a flat over the top of your inks, then you're not allowing the colorist to add to the production.
Yeah.
So you've always got this balancing act when you're doing inks and you're doing pencils of how far do I go? How far do I black in? Where are my spots? How do I make it work? Bearing in mind there's going to be inks and colors and everything over the top of it.
Right.
But if it's just you and you're just inking it and it's just down to you to make everything happen in those inks, it's scary and it's tough because it's a real challenge. But at the same time, it's very freeing because you don't have to worry about any of those other aspects. You've got to make it work there and then with those inks. And so much of this stuff is exactly that. It would be ruined with color.
Yes, exactly.
Absolutely ruined with color.
Look at that reflection in that center panel in that puddle.
Yeah.
How good is that? On the next page, at the center panel there, yeah. Look at that. How good is that? Yeah.
That's a fine illustration right there. Just fine art.
Oh, sir, you have the hands of a woman. I've never seen hands like that. Surely you've never been keel-hauled.
Mike Noble Russ, who used to do TV21 stuff.
Yeah.
Have you seen his work in black and white when he just does a wash?
No, I haven't.
Well, if you ever look at his color work, he never
Yeah.
seems to do a hard line around anything because he's
Right.
going to create the line with the color. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, but when you see the black and white, he draws just the same.
Right.
Do you understand what I mean? He doesn't do a closed
Yeah.
line because there's no color, and it works like this stuff because he's just such a good artist. It just works. I always think the colors secondary to him.
Yeah.
Because his drawing is so good, you know. They like drawing people pinned down on tables, don't they, in this book?
Well, they're using a lot of the old Universal monster motifs too, you know.
Yeah, getting Frankenstein vibes from those James Whale pictures.
Very much so.
Look at that. Look at that.
This is
See that page there where he's lying from the aerial shot where he's lying down the last panel. He shouldn't be saying now it's working. He should be going, it's alive, it's alive.
Whoa!
And look at that Quasimodo on the left, or whoever it is. The way his shirt's just open with the light. Bottom last panel. That one, yeah. Look at his shirt there. The way it's just nothing in there, just creating that shape.
No sense.
Again, using the fine line in the background to create the edge without having to draw a. So what I've been doing recently is I've been, obviously I've been out on my journey looking at Bronze Age stuff, and like there's you can lay down some lovely thick lines and some outlines and then hatch it and do whatever you want to do. Going on a completely different course now, and looking at this kind of stuff is a real inspiration.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
And a lesson. Yeah.
When I started reading comics, it was just past the apex for Warren magazines, and the 70s and 80s magazines that Marvel was doing were raging. And when I started my career with Arrow Comics, it was in black and white. It was just natural for me because I had grown up reading this kind of stuff. The underground material, Cerebus was running really big. ElfQuest was starting up, so doing black stuff in black and white. We missed color, but we also priced out what it would take to put the book in color.
Yeah,
and it was like, nope, black and white.
So. I've just seen some Mike Noble black and white stuff. Fantastic.
Yeah.
Fabulous.
Fantastic.
Oh yeah.
Somebody else to look at.
Just like Bellamy and all the work he did on Garth, just crazy good.
I think we've been spoiled a bit, haven't we, on all these people?
I honestly, I think we have a lot of ways that we get to see this stuff. This is stuff that not quite the stuff I grew up with. I started reading after this had come out. But
the problem is as an artist yourself, you have to stay the course.
Yeah.
It's difficult not to look at things and go, oh, shiny, I love that, I'll do that. Or not that you can do it, you know what I mean? But you sort of veer towards a style. You find something, oh my God, that's fantastic, I must do that, or I must attempt it. But you've got to stay the course. You've got to be you. You've just got to use these as inspirations.
Oh yeah.
And see how people, our previous generations of literally masters have used techniques in order to make things work.
Now, I'm not sure whatever happened to this artist, but you look at the as far as his career goes. But you look at this. There's Ditko in this. There's Wood sitting here. There's all sorts of influence working here.
Loads of stuff.
So whether they pulled it from him or he pulled it from them, it's hard to say. I'll have to do some research into the artist.
Well, again, when you're looking back at the start, they were all working off each other.
Oh yeah,
weren't they? There was a healthy competition.
Yeah,
I'm
sure they were looking at what each other were doing in the last issues or so, and going, I can do better than that.
What's the guy called who did Young Frankenstein? Mel
Brooks.
Mel Brooks, that's it. But if you look on the previous page, the guy's going to fix this guy's hump, and he does that in Young Frankenstein. He says to him, doesn't he, I can mend your hump, and he says, what hump? You look in the middle panel there. the middle panel, where he's pointing toward the single guy there. It says, "I promise to fix it so your hump never bothers you again, Otto."
Oh, yeah, and
I just
he's in
wonder-
the silhouetted.
I just wonder if Mel Brooks saw that, because like he puts it in that film because he says what hump, doesn't he? He doesn't know it's there, does he?
It's
Because it's
hard
on his
to say.
back.
Wow.
Yeah,
Just a thought.
a lot of that comedy was also done at the spur of the moment. So a lot of that Mel Brooks stuff was, he just had such a great crew working with him that they were bouncing off of each other all the time, off a script. Let's look at that great stuff. And again, a great Jack Davis, cousin Ernie there at the end. The monster turns on him. It's very
Wow.
wood here. Very wood here. Very Ditko, I think.
Yeah,
right there.
Ditko, yeah.
Just a lot of that. Look at that. The Quasimodo there is just beautifully done. On to the next one.
Under the Skin.
Joe Orlando. It's a little bit looser than the stuff that we saw before last week of Joe's. It's a little bit more cartoony.
Yeah, that bottom panel there was creating
Yeah.
Yeah.
A lot more stylized, not quite as technical in places. Maybe it was done on a deadline. I don't know. It looks a lot looser, though. That's a great face. There's James Mason right there. At least it looks like it to me.
Yeah. Spare me your human platitudes. Wow.
Bloody humans.
And that was probably written by Goodwin.
It is, yeah.
Yeah. Goodwin wrote the majority of these, played editor, and bet he was having a ball doing this stuff.
Yeah. That is very loose, that one, isn't it?
Yeah. You see a little bits of it here and there. I think a lot of it's in him. Joe's playing around with a lot of the gray shades here, gray tones here, because right there we're back to, almost that same technical look in the black and white, but it's a lot looser. Maybe he made it more open on purpose in order to play with the gray tones.
Maybe.
There's a little bit of great gray tones into that sound effect, that walk.
They're written like Twilight Zone, aren't they? In the way that they've got 5 pages to tell a story, so they go right into it and then they come right out of it. There's no
all of this
no messing about,
Yeah, all of this is structured off of Feldstein and Gaines's EC material. That's I'm sure they use that for the writing template for the compositional curve for the writing. Beginning, middle, end, hook at the end. Short stories were really really big back then. You don't see them in comics that much anymore. I mean, this kind of horror short story work, it's really missed. I think I love working in short story.
Well, what do you think?
Face wide open. Aren't I pretty? What do you think? Nice light source here. Just face.
Let's get it off. Anything. Why won't it come off? Oh dear.
Everybody's stunned. Yeah. And again, the writing trope for DC's Blue Devil here. A stunt man who puts on a suit and can't take it off. A great horror hook right there. Gotta get it off. Rip, tear anything. Why won't it come off? Oh, Lord.
Look at that. Ripped all the skin from his face. It won't come off. It won't come off.
Yeah. Something, get it done.
Early warning for plastic surgery there.
Yeah. Do something. Get a doctor. Get a straitjacket. Anything. Quick.
Oh, dear.
There's Jay Tacey. Somebody said that was a non-deplume for somebody else's work.
It was Johnny Craig, I think.
Johnny Craig. Yeah. Space Monster Gallery.
Look at that. That's more like a sort of an advertising, artwork, isn't it? Rather than a comic book. That girl and everything. It's just wonderful.
Sure, he's using his advertising expertise there.
Yeah.
That and he wanted to draw pretty girls fat. So,
Yeah.
yeah, what should I put? Oh, yeah, let's put a girl.
Well, look at the way her dress isn't solid black though. It's that lovely tone on it.
Except the back's wide open. Just enough to get.
What I love about stuff like that is it's basically painted with ink.
Yeah.
It's not inked pencils. It's like it's grey tone paint.
Yeah.
You see that the gray lines back here. You're right. He did a lot of that line work in wash.
Well, just if you just look at the cloak,
Yeah.
there are no hard lines in there like like you would ink you'd ink like a superhero page.
Mm-hmm.
There's like a wash inside his cloak.
Yeah.
Just gorgeous.
Here, especially.
Hmm.
You can see it come through. And again, that light source, just amazing. That's Hogarth's dynamic light and shadow right there at work. The Monument by Alex.
Great
Alex
cars.
Toth. Drawing like Williamson here.
Yeah.
Look at that. So different from his later work. I would have loved to have seen him do the same story late in his life, because it would not look like this at all.
Mm.
I mean, you'd get occasional flashes like here, the simplicity and the
That's such a lovely shot, that looking through the glass doors.
Yeah.
And the city in the background.
Look at that line at under the guy's nose in the previous panel with his looking down his glasses. It's a really
it's a thick old line, isn't it?
Yeah.
Here you mean?
It's almost cartoony.
Yeah. No, he's got away with that,
Toth was at times amazingly simplistic. He could lay a line down. Alex Nino and Jim Aparo, I think, have the same idea, only they use different tools. Where Aparo can use a brush and go thick, thin, thick, and have an entire nose and a shadow underneath it. Incredibly, incredibly done. Nino's the same way. Toth just does it for simplicity's sake. He's coming out of, he's doing animation work here at the same time. I'm sure if this is 66, he's getting work from Hanna-Barbera at this point, or about to. So.
Wow.
That's when he strips everything down, because he not only, in order for the animators to draw it quickly, but because he has no respects, as he calls it, for the monkeys in the room that are drawing after he lays down the storyboards. Says it's all drawn by monkeys on a salary. And
that's a nice attitude, isn't it?
But that was him. He was a curmudgeon. You should read some of his letters. He never typed. He always hand wrote his letters. It's just amazing. You can see the emotion right there. These MFers are screwing me around and all of this stuff. Just some great. It's very interesting to read his correspondence. But this is before he really started stripping back, and he went and you see in the late 60s, you don't see this at all. This is Williamson working here, just beautiful line work, total advertising work or storyboard work at work here, or comic strip work, which I'm sure he did some. Where now, later in his career, you look at Bravo for Adventure, it's beautiful, but it's incredibly simplistic, almost deceivingly simplistic.
I was going to say that the first panel, the introduction panel there, with the title, it looks like a really dated mid-60s Life magazine advert kind of illustration, doesn't it?
Same here. This looks like Secret Agent Corrigan or Agent X9. Comic strip work. Like I said, it used to be this beautiful and this fine detail. Modesty Blaze would you see a lot of the inking technique here. That you would see in a Modesty Blaze, and that's really not the way Toth ended up. And at the end, he ended up lettering all of his own stuff. And
I was going to say, did he letter that? Because it looks.
Everything gave it its own look. No, I'm not
Like
sure if he lettered that or not. It doesn't look like his stuff, though.
Likes to leave a lot of space around the lettering.
Yeah.
You can see he's designing it
Yeah.
Well, he might have
It's not
designed
just
that
crap.
knowing some dialogue was going there and here.
Well, I think if you look at everything and the amount of space there is around
Yeah.
the lettering, it's a conscious design decision.
I agree.
To make it have that open feel within the lettering.
Yeah, I think you're right, Russ, because a lot of letterers seem to go tight on the balloons, don't
Yeah,
they? And it doesn't
just
work.
fill
does it?
up. Yeah, but especially the boxes.
Yeah,
right.
With the way that they've got the caps at the start and
it's a really the way the boxes are done are really European style, like Mobius does boxes like that.
Yeah,
oh yeah,
that's a definite design decision.
Yeah,
again, this almost looks more Adams than it does Alex Toth. And there you can see the composition. It's very much Toth. This is such a great perspective here. He's throwing the artwork across the table. It's beautifully done.
Been there.
That's Alex right there.
Yeah.
That is pure Toth.
Oh dear, look at that.
Seeing a lot of that stripped back down, you see a lot of his layout sense here on this page.
That great grass at the bottom on that car. Look, what's he doing? Is he pushed her over the side? Oh my god.
Tired of her. Here we go. Right.
Just this.
Now, what is it you wish to take up with me, as you put it? It's just this.
I've had enough. I've had enough of that silly hat.
I love the way the violence is very sort of casual, isn't it? You know, it's like he's just no. What do you want me? You know, why are you pushing me towards the window? Oh, I'm just going to put the kettle on, type of thing. You know what I mean? That same kind of. There's no. It's just casual. It's just casual. The violence is as if it's nothing. You know, like putting the kettle on or something like that. It's just brilliant.
Also, this is the time of Hitchcock too. Hitchcock's going really big on TV and in movies. So Hitchcock Presents is out and running like that. Here we're getting into them solids that Toth is known for. Here, just beautiful.
We're getting into Sin City now.
And it's like the farther along the story goes, the looser he becomes. This is a lot more like the what I would recognize as Alex's work. Here, I mean, just it's beautifully done, and I don't mean that despairingly at all, but it's just great to see. I've got a lot of examples of Toth that we should go over. I've got a great book of his cartoons that he did for Cartoons magazine, Cartoons and Drag Tunes, and that's just amazing, cartoony, just solid stuff, just beautiful work. He's just kicking that out to make a little bit of money on the side.
No.
Shapum. That's the start of the song, surely.
Yeah.
Life is just a dream. Shapum.
What's that other one? The Monty Python one. Always look on the bright side of life. Shipum.
Well, somebody's killing you with a rotary pen.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
Gene Colan.
Gene Colan.
Oh, look at this.
Eating himself.
Straight away. Look at that.
Laying in the
laying in grays.
Laying in the ink wash grays. The beautiful perspective shot. We'll throw a skull.
This must be the story that the cover's about.
Full fathom fright. Yeah.
Do you know what? Last week I said of Colon that I said that it was organic.
Yeah.
I'm gonna readdress that. It was dreamlike.
Mm-hmm.
His style is dreamlike. It's just
it moves, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's almost like it moves in front of your face, and it's
ghostly.
Just amazing.
Well, for me, he's one of those artists that Stan really used, that had his own individual look, his own individual feel, You can
Yeah.
just look at that page and you know it's Colon.
You knew it immediately. As
Yeah,
soon as it came up, I
immediately.
knew it was Colon. Yeah.
Is that guy at the top left page Frank Sinatra?
Could be.
No, that's cousin. What's it?
And again, you're seeing their advertising background come through there.
Yeah.
Maybe a little bit of strip work at the same time.
Look at the sign on the wall. Shock therapy.
Yeah, that way.
Shock
Yeah, it's
therapy
that way. That way. Don't go that way. That's the shock therapy.
Oh my god.
And again, that perspective is just amazing. Fathom fright. Full fathom fright. Pure Gene Colan here. It's great stuff. Every angle.
Oh dear.
Not a straight on shot in the bunch. Moving all over the place.
Yeah, it's great, isn't it? It jars you, doesn't it? It makes you. It's another way of just telling the story on it.
It's great. It's just great.
Wow. I bet all these pages went in somebody's bin a long time ago, didn't they?
Oh.
Hard to say anymore.
I have to say, Frazetta's version is better.
It is, yeah. Well, it's great to see Colin doing washes and inking his own, isn't it?
Yeah, yeah.
I don't know if they even saw each other's work when he did this. He might not.
No, I just
even
meant the
seen
monster.
The monster.
Yeah.
Yeah, I prefer the monster, Frazetta's monster.
Some alligator monster.
It looks more fishy.
Yeah. This looks more like a dragon or alligator. Profile.
Although
Not straight on,
the
but down.
whole point is if he's been given the story, and one of the points of the story is the monster grabbing his arm as he is there, then he'd need a longer jaw.
That's true. Yeah.
And so that would have led to maybe the way that he'd drawn it with a slightly larger jaw, which means he couldn't have drawn it in the way that Frazetta drew it. They would have both had different briefs, no doubt.
There must have been some collaboration because the monster could have been totally different, and it's not. So somebody must have drawn it first.
Well, I would imagine they didn't pay Frazetta a whole lot for those covers at the time. There was probably just a bunch of stuff that he had done, and they might have fashioned a story around it.
But I can just imagine getting given, like, Frazetta would have been briefed. Okay.
Yeah.
And these are the stories you can use. We'd prefer you to do this one. It's a diver, and like a fish creature. And here's the first couple of pages of script, maybe. And you go, all right, yeah, I'll do that. And then Colon gets the full script, and he has to do pinpoint things like the monster reared up and grabbed the arm of the diver with its jaws. So instantly, there's a physicality to following the story and making a story where you have to do things within the design of the monster which are more restrictive than the person that had to do the cover.
It's true. Plus, that what more than likely happened is Frazetta walked into the Warren offices with a portfolio of different paintings already done.
Maybe, yeah.
And Warren went through and picked and chose what he was going to use for what, and told Archie one of them's got a diver with a sea monster on it.
Yeah, make a story. Yeah.
Story.
Yeah. And then Colin would never have ever seen it anyway.
No.
And would have been given the story and had to adhere to that story, yeah.
Right, and he created the...
But the point being is that the two artists would have come from different starting points.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, there's kind of a superhero face there.
That left-hand page there, that second panel. Yeah, the one with the hand. You can really tell they're Gene Colan hands, can't you?
Yeah.
You know,
it's a monster here.
Yeah, but it's just like you said before. He's got such a style that's it's unmistakable. Like we said, when we turned the page, we knew what it was.
Yeah,
it's great, isn't it?
This is right before Daredevil, I would imagine. He took on
Right.
Daredevil at issue 2022, somewhere in there.
I never liked his Daredevil, to tell you the truth. I had a problem with I think it was like, although I never got this, that it was like the Kirby shock, so to speak. You know, you've said, Randy, and I think you said, Russ, that you didn't sort of get Kirby straight away.
Yeah,
I was the same with Gene Colan. It was too. It wasn't comic book art.
Mm-hmm.
But I obviously learned to love it and everything. But at the time, I remember thinking I wasn't happy with his Daredevil work. But I think that might have been born from the fact that I don't think they found a good inker for him for years.
No.
Well, it's hard to get somebody that pencils like this.
Yeah. Well, I think
they said he was always a problem with his gray tones.
Well, if you look at those early Daredevils that you were saying was issue 22, I think Giacoya inks it, and he's a very sort of stiff inker. Well, he's very good, but he's stiff. Used to the granite people drawn by Kirby, and this guy just draws fluid, moving things.
Mm-hmm.
I wasn't that fussed for his work on Daredevil either, but his work on Dracula was just amazing. I think it suited the character better.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, absolutely, because of the mood.
I think that's what it comes down to. It suited the character better. In fact, maybe if he could have drawn like this with the washes, it might have suited Daredevil better.
Yes, yeah.
Well, I think
but obviously they weren't doing that. So
I discovered Colan about Daredevil 54 or so, where he was fighting Stuntmaster, which is a guy who drives a motorcycle.
Yeah.
And he ends up taking Stuntmaster's place and ends up knocking out an entire biker gang.
Right.
And they're all amazed. They're all amazed at his agility, and you see all of this fluid fight scene going on that only Colan could draw it. Yeah. And in fact, I think it was Thomas that went through and did the dialogue, either Thomas or Lee, had to remark that they thought the guy was double jointed because the guy's leg was right up there.
Yeah.
Daredevil was kicking a guy, and it's like, holy crap, this guy must be double jointed because of the stylistic look of the art.
I didn't like Colan's Doctor Strange either. I think it either came before or after Marie Severin. I didn't like hers. I sort of lost Doctor Strange from that point. I'm a great artist, but I don't think it worked on that character.
I think they lost their way after Ditko left on that character anyway, because the character was so Ditko. But I think the only person that got close to that was Frank Brunner. That was quite a few years later. But there was some Bill Everett, and just about everybody worked on that strip for a while when it was in Strange Tales.
Yeah, that sound effect. Roar.
Yeah.
Roar. All inked on the page.
Almost looks like Cecil here.
Cecil. Oh.
I'm coming, B-boy. Lunch. It's another good lord. It's pipes popping out of his mouth.
Good lord.
Good lord.
The monster's going to get him. Grar. The monster ended up being the good guy.
Probably. On to the next issue, Eerie number 4.
A cover by lurking horror haunts the island at the world's end.
Yes. Very pulpy. New terror in the creepy tradition.
Yeah.
She's having a little dance there, like Tales of the Unexpected, Glenn.
Yeah, yes, I remember, yeah. Fantastic, wasn't it? Patrick Moore, and what was that gorgeous woman calling it? That girl.
I can't remember. I was a bit young at the time.
Right. She was Gabrielle somebody, I think she's called. She was gorgeous. Anyway, yeah, Patrick Moore. He's in Emmerdale now, isn't he?
Oh, yeah. He was in a few Hammer horror films as well.
He was, yeah. Yeah,
he was like did the rounds.
Always like a jobbing actor, so to speak, never the star.
Yeah. But look at that hand.
Yeah.
Just great. This is Gray Morrow.
Gray Morrow. You have to go to Eerie to see a Grey Morrow painting.
Yeah.
Wow, look at that. That's I can hear Thriller in my head when I see that first page.
That is the great Roy Krenkel.
Ow!
Went on to do a lot of book illustration work. He's also an EC guy.
Wow.
Zombies.
They spoiled it with that panel, didn't they? They should have taken that lettering off it, just left it like that.
Yeah.
Wow.
Number 3, zombies.
Yeah.
As opposed to a number 2 pencil.
You said number 2.
House of Evil. Joe Orlando again in a almost cartoony look to it. This time he's got Cousin Eerie leaning on the title.
Wow. It's like an Eisner thing with the lettering being part of the drawing, you know.
Oh yeah, yep. Why not? Where are you going to put the title? Put it back here. It'll be great. Leave a little space at the top so that we can do some dialogue. Oh, okay. No problem. It's done. Here you go. It's great old stuff. Lots of solids there. A little bit of line work in the front, and then everything just drops right off with the line work back.
That's
behind.
very strange lettering. Richard, where are you, boy? Richard, did he get his kids to do that? It looked like bubble lettering.
Well, we saw that back in the previous issue. They did a little bit of that, just a touch of it.
That's weird.
Whoever was lettering there, well, it's a nice looking sheer rash here.
Yeah, and the Garu's good. Gotta love a Garu.
Yeah.
And a Karash.
Oh yeah.
It's old haunted house. You got to watch them falling shutters. And again, I ain't staying here. This place is haunted. Vroom. Yeah. Lots of fun. Very open here, quite a different feel from the EC material, where they would catch everything already lettered. It's a lot less rigid.
Built in 1790 by the Japes family, a barbarous clan of maniacs who pillaged the countryside, committed unspeakable acts on neighbours and unsuspecting travellers. Oh dear. Is that a mother box there in the centre of that page?
Right here, almost.
But they
On the
always
side.
threw such
Writing
nice
desk.
parties.
Oh, here, that's a recording.
Yeah, I know.
Real,
You're missing the humour, Randy.
state of the art.
Mate, it's a British thing. Don't worry about it.
Is that what it is?
Look at that bottom left. It's a real Steranko guy, that isn't it?
Yeah.
Left on page, bottom panel, bottom left, the other side.
Mm.
Yeah,
Real
yeah.
Steranko.
A lot of
Nice
harsh
hat.
light. Yeah. Obviously kidnapped to be sacrificed.
They like doing the drapes, don't they? And the stuff like that with those lovely thick lines.
Mhm.
Forsooth, does mother know you are using her drapes?
Got to have something to absorb the blood. It's a great zombie.
Who's the artist on this one again?
This is Joe Orlando.
Oh,
Again.
wow.
Yeah.
Wow. Again,
Nice,
He started out in the earlier issues that we looked at very much like Al Williamson, and now he's
yeah, it's
getting
changed. Yeah, it's
looser and cartoonier as he goes along. Yeah.
I like the angle on that panel. Who's coming
Right
through
here,
the
I
door?
love-
Yeah,
Great.
through the door.
It's coming
here?
through the door on the right hand side.
Oh. Yeah.
Ah.
On the floor.
And then in classic B movie, he puts his arms up in the air. Rawr!
Yeah.
And that panel there underneath that one is very Steranko again with those folds on that coat.
Here's roaring monster coming at you. Here, have a chair.
Schlop.
Have it.
Plop, should say.
Eat chair, monster.
What a great action. I don't know why it warranted a sploop. Splop.
Obviously, something wet happened when he hit him.
Must have been. My brother, Richard, you killed my brother. It's a great series of panels here. Foot, hand, hand.
It was you what done that awful lettering. I'm going to hit you with this chair.
Tension mounts. The monster approaches, walks to the door. He let him in. It's his fault. Should have shut the door.
July the 7th, the end is near.
Very quick panel, a very quick page here, it looks like. Over the shoulder.
No, he's melting now.
Mm.
I'm
And now
melting.
he's melting.
Oh, that was his brother. Oh no, how sad.
Before the rot. Yeah.
It's all at the same time. Before the rot of their evil consumes him,
Yeah.
as it did this house and everything to come in contact with it.
I like they just leave these things open. It's just like man goes to the house, meets monster, gets told he's doomed. End of story. It's great.
I just
love it.
Yeah, and
And
I
rots. Yeah.
love the cousin at the end when it's an ending that grows on you. Oh well, enough of this rot.
Ah.
Mold your mind with the next bit of gory stuff.
That comes off of the EC.
Yeah, it just make it funny,
Host.
don't they, at the end?
Oh, yeah. Also, the old radio programs back in the day, Lights Out and Inner Sanctum, did the same thing. They'd have a horror host that would always crack jokes at the end and make light of the situation.
I bet none of these
Exactly like
guys
this.
would ever have believed that they'd have been collected into books.
Oh, yeah.
that would
Hardback
have been-
books.
hardback books
to go on
that
the
would have-
shelf. Yeah.
for $100.
Yeah.
It's it was all just pulp. It was fun. It was like, this is a story. Just read the story, enjoy it,
Yep.
get the next story.
Yep.
Uh,
Chat's open, folks.
Dracula's Dragster.
Feel free to jump in. We're still there's nobody in the
Wolfman's
chat
Wolf
yet.
Wagon.
What's a flivver?
I don't know what a flivver is. That must be an American thing.
It's Frankenstein's flivver.
Yeah, but what's a
I
flivver?
believe that's a car.
Oh, right.
Old slang term for a car.
Mummy's Chariot.
We can't say that now.
Oh, we're talking 50s slang too.
Can't
That's
say
like
mummy.
hot rod.
No, I've been not saying that thing about mummies. They want them. They think it's degrading and sexist. We can't call them mummies.
I've got
You don't-
some choice words. They're mummies. Get
You don't
stuffed.
want to insult the dead people. You know,
Yeah, like
even
they've
though
been
we've
dead
used
9
that,
million years. You know.
used that term for centuries, but not now.
I don't give a shit. I'll call them what
Yeah.
I like. If you don't like it, don't listen.
That's right. Just walk away.
Just walk away. Yeah.
Well, I've learned
Be-
something today.
be like
I've le-
Snake.
Yeah. Yeah.
Be like Snake Plissken. Just walk away.
Just walk away. Yeah.
Early Dragula here.
I've learned something
Dragula.
today. I've learned what
That's
a
it.
flivver is.
That's a
Flivver,
Rob Zombie. That's a Rob Zombie.
It just
I have
shows you.
learned something new.
It just shows you that comics can educate you.
Yeah,
Flivver.
a flivver. Wow.
Let me look it up here.
What a bizarre thing. 98 cents.
Yeah.
Flivver is a
That's-
cheap car or aircraft, specifically one in bad condition.
Right.
That's the definition according to Google.
They're the kind of so you'd get a flivver when you were a young person because you couldn't afford a decent car.
Right. Well, that fits in with Mummy's Chariot, Wolfman's
Yeah.
Wolf Wagon.
I love the
Dracula's
Wolf Wagon.
Dragster,
I don't know why he's
Frankenstein's
sitting
Flivver.
in it. These four things are like something you'd get in Mad magazine.
Yes,
Yeah.
they are, aren't they? Yeah.
Very much like a Ratfink illustration. You know, the Ratfink was a big artist over here who drew the dragster guys with the bent car with the big stick shift, the guy hanging out of it.
I don't know that.
You might not be familiar with that work. It's very
Very American.
very 50s, 60s, very American. Yeah. It's like that that painting that I did for Flint Comics with the shop rat hanging out of the car holding the big stick shift. If you've seen that, I might have that.
Nothing like a big stick shift.
Not in America. Yeah. Like that right there.
Oh, right. Yeah.
Oh,
It's
right.
very much in the style of Rat Fink. Yeah.
Rawr.
Fantastic. Dracula's Dragster.
He had a lot of
Oh,
he had a
look
big
at that.
impact on a lot of cartoonists here. Rat Fink did. He's quite a celebrity here with the cartoonist.
Just before you go into that corner page, look at the adverts. Look, a giant 10-foot rubber snake and a human skull.
That's what every kid wants.
Your own
That's what
monster
they were selling.
fly. Buy this monster fly now.
Dracula's own rubber bat.
What we all need. A large rubber bat to scare our sisters with.
Look at that, a mad doctor's hypodermic
Skull
needle.
Skull.
Oh my
That kill
god.
any person in 1 minute.
An absolutely real human skull for $1.25. How low we value human life.
It's just inflation has taken over so
Yeah.
bad. That's what it is.
No
You can't get
talent,
a skull
no
for
lessons.
$1.25
Here you go, look.
anymore.
Lets you draw any person in 1 minute. No talent, no lessons.
Yeah.
AI.
Yeah. Early AI.
Oh dear. There we go, Gene Colan again. Look at that. Look at the expression on the face in that second panel. Isn't that great?
That woman in that panel, in that page. Wow.
Yeah.
And
She's real, isn't she?
The second panel in is
Yep.
just, you're right. It's like it's a presentation of reality. It's like a dream version of reality. Just
And her hair.
yeah,
Right here at
everything.
fabulous.
The
Stunning.
last panel. This
Stunning.
gorgeous face. Yeah. It's great. Gene Archie again writing.
Oh, look at that.
Hatchet Man.
Eee.
Oh my god, that poor woman.
Oof, look.
That's quite a hardcore selling technique,
Ooh,
isn't it? I
that's
mean,
a-
normally you
Yeah.
just put your foot in the door.
Look at that on the wall. Harry did it. Stop him before he kills more. Look at the door. Look at those lines on that door. It's slamming closed. Bang. Look at that.
So who
Oh,
wrote that? Did she write that, or did he?
He's-
I suppose he wrote that, didn't he? The killer. He's
Yeah,
trying
I
to
think
trying to
so.
be caught.
He can't help himself. Catch me.
Look at the way those panels are interlocking. He's
He
not
is-
done normal panels. He's just
He is right.
Oh, yeah.
He's dipping his
Yeah.
finger in the blood in that panel there. It's his knee and his
Yeah.
foot. Dipping his finger in the blood. Oh
Yeah.
my god.
so it's like yeah.
I think they should be banned. These are
Dripping.
affecting children.
These weren't meant for kids, though. Oh, the kids were buying.
Well,
the
I'm sorry,
comics
but-
off of the spiral rack. These were meant intentionally to go beyond the code.
I know.
Bearing in mind what we're seeing, this is obviously normalizing violence.
Well, so
This
is Alfred
normalizing-
Hitchcock.
This
Yeah.
is normalizing violence. We can't possibly have violence in stories because it's normalizing it. It's like I can't. I'm trying to remember where I heard that the other day. Oh, it's that CBR article. There was a CBR article out there saying 10 comics that haven't aged well,
Huh.
and it's like Batman, Dark Knight's in there, the first ever action comics of Superman. And they were complaining about the artwork on that. It's like, are you an idiot? Yes.
Well, the first action comic, the first
yeah.
Superman was amazing anyway. He
And-
was
and
a
it's
true
like- and they were talking
social
about-
justice warrior back then.
Yeah, talking about certain comics there. Well, this is just normalizing. Oh, Killing Joke is apparently normalizing violence against women.
All right.
No, it's a crime drama.
Yeah.
Somebody was a victim in it. In fact, there were many victims in it. That's what crime dramas are. Are you an idiot? Yes. Like,
Well,
Jesus Christ, what is
Russ,
wrong with
it's-
these people?
Russ, it's CBR.
Yeah. Like CBR.
That explains everything.
It's just awful.
The
Absolutely
most
awful.
of comics media is just terrible anymore.
Yeah, well, most journalism, it's just like it doesn't exist anymore. Everything's just so damn. They take everything to extremes. They take everything on face value instead of actually having some subtlety in stories and what have you. Gosh.
I assume that's needed there at Indie
Yeah.
Comics
Yeah.
Network. Yeah, nowadays skulls are 4 easy payments in
4 easy
1999.
payments. I know. I have 10.
Yeah.
You know, we were saying earlier about Russ. You were talking about painting rather than inking. Look at that on the first page there, the big on the left-hand page, under his collar, under his arm.
Yeah.
The way that it's not just solid black.
No, it's not solid.
It's fantastic, isn't it?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh no!
You just look at it and
Literally set free to his own devices too. So it's like,
Yeah.
okay, we're going to do this.
yeah.
You can do what you like.
Yeah.
Yeah. And,
Yeah.
and why wouldn't you let Gene Colan do what he likes?
Do whatever he wants.
Yeah, just do it.
All right,
Gene.
Gene.
See,
Do your
still-
thing.
He's still real rigid with his gutters here, though. Later on, like with Nathaniel Dusk, or,
it's not
Night
wavy.
Force, he's
Yeah.
wavy all over the place. Yeah,
It's not wavy, is it? It's straight lines, but it's still.
very straight.
It's like, but then the story.
It does kind of serve that choppiness of
Yeah,
the story,
yeah.
though, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Look,
It's a
this
very.
almost
It's
looks
it,
like
you know. It's a
front on
dark,
X.
harsh story,
Oh,
and he's
yeah.
going for those dark, harsh lines.
Yeah.
I'm sure he just made it up as he went along.
I think he's probably doing the lettering and the sound effects as well, isn't he? Because the way they
Yeah,
blend in with the
probably.
artwork.
Yeah.
He's incorporating it right in.
Yeah.
Look at that glove though on the left hand that page, Randy, on the left hand side. The thumb on that where your hand is right now on the right hand page.
Yeah, the
That-
creasing.
look at that, the
Yeah.
creasing. Yeah.
When it comes to those shots, though, the hand shots like that, Colin just it's unmatched.
Yeah.
When it just tight looks, different things, making the ordinary extraordinary.
And the way
look
she's holding-
extraordinary. Yeah.
The way she's holding onto his coat there when he's
Yeah.
wunk.
She falls down.
Yeah, she's grabbing him.
Yeah.
Oh dear.
Ooh, that's creepy.
That's pretty grim. isn't it?
Gruesome. Once again, another beautiful woman.
Yeah. A real woman, isn't she?
A real woman, yes. Not, yeah, exactly. Real women.
Fabulous.
That shot of her laughing in there. It's just,
Yeah.
and and then to the right, the shade on the guy's face.
Yeah.
Harry, is that you? Why are you at work? Yes, dear. It's only me.
Oh my God. It's like American Psycho, isn't it?
Quick, get me a cup of coffee. Chop, chop.
Again, great.
Oh, the
Handling
hatchet
out
killer.
this-
Oh, we know what's going to happen, don't we? He's going to kill somebody and blame it on the hatchet killer. So we know where this one ends up, don't we?
Yeah.
Look at that face. Look at his face.
Yeah,
Swoosh.
great.
Oh
Ink
my
wash there.
God.
A
Wow.
little bit of blood dripping. You don't have to show much of a body, just a leg. You know
There's
what?
two nutcases in this one, but we're only on page 4.
These old great detectives in the overcoat and the pipe.
Yep.
You gotta have a pipe. It's a symbol of authority.
Is that what it is?
It used
It's
to
like
be.
It's like when policemen always have to go and lift up the blanket to see what's underneath, don't they? Like
Yeah.
that guy.
It's a body.
Good Lord. Yeah.
Good Lord, it's a body.
Chopped
Suck
up
my
all
pipe.
words. You're the hatchet killer, Whittaker. You're crazy. I'm not.
I'm not.
Me,
Oh,
Harry. I'll
Almost
kill
looks
them
like
all.
Paul Newman there for a minute.
Ah. So he did. He turned bonkers.
Yeah.
It was him.
Harvey Whittaker, afraid of Phyllis. I'll kill them all.
No, that wasn't the greatest story. It was just a great excuse to have Gene Colan draw some amazing panels.
Yeah, I thought the guy was going to come and get him for blaming it on him, but there you
Yeah.
go.
Have he tried to write on the wall?
Maybe it would have been. He had more than
Maybe
5
it
pages. It could have been a bit more in depth. But
Yeah. Look at that spelling there. All right. Take him away.
all right, take them away. Boy.
Poor
right.
Harvey.
So yeah, I think the monster stuff is better served in the 5 pages.
Yeah. Look at what he says at the end there. One half of his brain didn't know what the other was doing. His personality was split up more than his
Oh
victim.
God.
Now you'd
Oh,
better
boy.
hurry on to the next
That on the
screen
right.
story.
Curse of the Demon. I
Hell
remember
yeah.
seeing that when I was a kid. I loved that.
Oh, it's a fantastic film.
It's
isn't
got
it?
a great. They've got obviously you see a physical monster, a guy in a suit, in it with the train.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I love it.
Dinosaurus. Killer gorilla.
Caveman, a monster brought back to life.
Yeah.
Killer gorilla.
Oh, I thought that said Varian, the Unbelievable Man. It says Baron.
Yeah. Baron, the unbelievable.
The cabinet of Dr. What was that? Caligari. The weirdest, eeriest 18 dodgy 8mm movie ever made.
The Deadly Mantis, where they took pictures of the of skyscrapers and just laid a bunch of praying mantises or grasshoppers on them to crawl around on the picture. And then use that.
Bloody genius, that is. They make films like that anymore, do they? Eh?
No, they don't.
No.
Giant tarantula. It's great stuff. That's why they were offering them in 8mm. And then not just made for stag films, folks. Just put your, a great little 5-minute reel from your favorite monster movie right here. And Mastro Serio. Yep.
I've got my dad had an 8mm camera from the early 60s. We've got loads of film of us when we're kids running about. It's, no sound, but it's just great. Just great to see yourself and your brothers and your mum and dad when you were 5. When you were 6 or something.
We had an old projector and a little screen that we would set up in the living room and
we
play old cartoons in black and white.
Writing on the front of that guy where he's got the rat and the shadows being cast. No, on the left-hand side with the rat shadows being cast on his chest.
Yeah.
Superb.
It's a great touch. Just beautiful work. Again.
Squeeze. Two squeeze.
Squeeze.
That's unfortunate for that rat.
Instead of doing a big lab background, just do a little bit of shadow here because all of the actions happen right there.
Yeah, there's no need for it. Yeah.
Why?
Although that's a very dark for a lab.
It is.
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
Intense lighting.
It's obviously an evil lab.
Ooh, look at that! The way he's jabbing that poor little rat.
Yeah, the poor thing.
Is
that going to come back as the monster?
Who knows? It is called Gnawing Fear.
Gnawing
so I imagine it does. Yeah.
Quick, turn the page. I'm interested. I want Ratty to come back.
The evil
come
scientist.
on, Ratty.
Now the eeriness of it all.
Oh,
Floating
look,
heads. Floating heads.
God, I love floating heads. There's a hole. Look, there's a hole in the cellar.
Yeah. Look at that
where
middle
Ratty's
panel.
gone.
Look at that middle panel. It's really Ditko the way he got that black, white with that guy sitting down.
Yeah.
Good Lord.
Dr. Han. Where's Dr. Han? He's been taken by Ratty.
Blood all over. Where's Dr. Han?
Tales of the Riverbank, Russ.
Yeah, Tales of the Riverbank. It's Ratty. Let's all climb in this Jeep.
Yeah.
A tummy. Cramped, but whoever carried off Dr. Han used it, so can I.
Slashed to ribbons, blood all over. But where's Dr. Han? Brilliant.
Maniac on the loose. I don't want to bother with rats also.
Lovely light there from the flashlight.
That's just amazing. All line work here, just beautifully done.
Yeah. I'm taking notes.
Yeah. I just think he didn't want to render the wall, so he...
No, he just did it in black.
made it black.
Could be too.
This one's a 7-pager. Oh.
Oh, well, he's a Spanish artist. They're getting the most out of him, you see.
Yeah.
No.
I'll have to do some research on this guy because he's probably a non de plume for somebody else, just like Tacy.
Look at that left-hand page, middle panel at the bottom. Shot scattered.
Blam.
Fantastic, isn't it?
Bam.
Yeah, and then the next one as well, where he's in silhouette.
That's amazing.
That's fantastic, isn't it?
Multiple holes.
Yeah.
Come on, turn it. Let's see the rat. There's got to be a big rat. It's got to be a big rat.
Nope.
Vermin,
A lot of little
vermin.
rats.
Bam, 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 bam,
Not
bam.
just like
A
a
lot of
rat
little rats.
in a trap.
Oh,
We
they
know
come
a
in
song
now.
about that.
Oh, yeah.
Blam, blam,
Oh,
blam.
Bob.
Vermin, filthy, rotten vermin.
You're in a rat trap, Billy, and you've been
Yeah.
caught.
Panic
Come right
seized
in
him.
the Squeeze, squeeze,
He fought,
squeeze.
strained,
Look at
stumbled.
that. It's just, no, isn't that a rattling experience?
Only his head could move. The poison, I blocked off every
I
toe.
can see Bob Geldof back there.
Yeah.
He's one of them rats.
Caught. And he laid out all that poison to guide the rats right to him.
That
Ed
would have
was
been so much
overwhelmed
better if
by
there'd
the
have been
whole
a
thing.
giant rat. I
Yeah,
want
it would.
Ratty to come back and be a giant rat.
That's for a later story.
With all his little mates, little minions.
Yeah, yeah.
For some
That,
reason, they couldn't print the ad down here for whatever reason, so they stuck the creepyuniverse.com.
They just had a spare ad. Nobody bought it.
Put their own ad there.
I didn't know they had visit creepyuniverse.com in 1966.
No.
They didn't.
I know.
Yeah, they did a rat. Wasn't it? Was it an Edgar Allan Poe story, or was it a?
Oh yeah, the
Oh, the one on Netflix recently with the I can't remember the name of the place.
Is that the cabinet?
Yeah, the cabinet. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's it. Yeah, I think there was a rat one in that.
Yeah,
where he was dragged
so
away
too.
like that. Yeah,
a lot of that were original stories. I think they only adapted one or two old horror
oh,
shorts.
there were several. Yeah, I mean, I think there was Edgar Allan Poe one. There was a couple of
There was a Lovecraft one.
Lovecraft. Yeah. That was quite good.
There is a movie up there, speaking of Poe, called The Pale Blue Eye, that takes place during Poe's time at a short stint at West Point.
That's what's his name, isn't it? Batman.
Christian Bale.
Christian Bale. Yeah, I want to watch that. It's supposed to be quite good.
It's very slow, but it is really good.
Slow. Oh no, I haven't got the
Well,
patience.
it's more of a Victorian murder mystery than anything.
Ditko.
The Shrieking Man. Ditko again at the height, using all this beautiful.
Oh, look at that
wash.
weird face there. Right hand page, middle panel. No, right hand page, middle panel.
Oh, here.
That's a weird
Very
face.
Ditko. Yeah.
Strange, isn't it? That?
Strange face.
Look at that shading on the panel to the right of it as well.
Yeah.
The side view.
Ink tones on this are amazing.
Ooh.
Just beautifully done.
Look at that.
I've got some grey inks, but it's just a little bit too dark. I think I'm going to have to mix it.
There's some water in it.
Yeah, but I don't want it to get too watery. I don't want it to get too thin.
Well, don't forget you can always build on it. You can't take it away.
Yeah, I suppose so. I just don't want the paper to crinkle, that's all.
Wait,
Stretch it.
No, I'm not doing that shit.
long before digital, everybody had their own Frankenstein concoction of ink.
Yeah.
They would do or use or washworks.
I've got some good white. I might ink Dr. P.H. Martin's pen white.
Oh,
so
wow.
I might ink it. I might sort of mix it up with a bit of that.
You see what he's banging on the wall in the first panel, the very first panel? That's very like John Romita, that sort of jagged.
Yeah.
Is that scratched on, or is it paint? Is it white paint ink?
It's white paint.
Right.
White paint and a ruler.
It's great, isn't it?
And some of it, yeah.
Rawr.
That would have to be. It's not a zip screen. That's a ink wash.
Right.
So you'd have had to have gone back over it.
Yeah.
Just add it for effect.
Homicidally violent.
Incredibly small pen or brush.
Right.
Yeah. Again, look at the contrast here, just on an incidental panel.
And what size do you reckon they were
Beautiful
drawing this at?
It's probably double, or not double, but
Yeah.
golden age size still at this point.
Yeah, I reckon so. Yeah, because it was at 66 this, like just before they went to that 11, 18 page, wasn't it?
Yeah.
So I reckon this is on big paper.
So this is the A2.
Yeah, yeah.
So they're drawing a page on A2.
Didn't we see somebody with that page that size on the
Yeah, it
board
was
last week?
Hal Foster, was it?
Hal Foster, was it? Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, imagine that, having that on your wall, that size,
I know,
framed.
I know.
And again, Foster's drawings were a lot bigger
Right.
than even the golden age illustration.
Yeah.
So
Right.
But imagine. Yeah, there you go.
There it is. Look at that.
That's bigger than A2. Yeah.
Yeah.
But in all fairness, he's not drawing a whole page of strip on there. He's drawing
He's doing strips.
individual strips, isn't he?
Yeah. Look
So
at his,
I don't know.
look at his coat or whatever it is he's got on his.
It's just really spattered, isn't it?
he's taking a whole week to draw that page.
But he's
Yeah.
still got his.
tell that the love is in every panel.
He's still got his best suit and his tie on. Look.
Yes, he does.
But again, it comes down to money, doesn't it? Time and money.
Yeah.
So the larger you draw, the longer it's going to take you, because you're going to put more into it physically. You're always going to put more into it. However simple your style may be, if you increase the size of your paper, you're going to put more detail in.
And
So
he was
it's gonna
probably
take you-
probably one of the best paid illustrator,
Yeah.
strip illustrators of his era.
Yeah.
If not
But-
one of the biggest of all time.
So you can
The
kind
strip
of
was
see
that
it.
big worldwide.
You can kind of see it from the perspective of trying to get more and more comics out, like in the 70s, 60s, and 70s when they changed to 1.5, up. That why they did it, because you could just pump out that much more.
Yeah.
I read that they did it because they could get more out of the film they were using.
It was a money saving prospect.
Right.
in
Yeah,
general.
well, whatever way round it was about cash, wasn't it?
Of course, always is, isn't it?
Yeah.
Everything is.
back then silver was at a high premium and they used that for the development
Yeah.
chemicals. So
But the idea of drawing strips on A2, I mean, you think, I'm going to sit down and I'm going to take several months to draw, I don't know, a 60-page graphic novel, an 80-page graphic novel.
Yeah.
Imagine on that size paper. It's like,
Yeah.
it'll take you a year.
Yeah.
It's
well, you did 52 of those a year.
Wow.
Foster did.
but that's the equivalent of one page a strip.
One page
isn't
a
it?
panel.
One page. If you were drawing on an A2 sheet, okay, a single page, penciled and inked on A2, which is not too much smaller than what he's got there, then would you be able to take a week to draw your pen to do it?
I don't know.
No, well, you couldn't. You couldn't survive on that. Nobody's going to pay you £500 a page.
If you're getting 50% of everything that the syndicate was pulling from the newspapers and
they-
you're being printed in thousands of strips,
They could. He
Yeah.
could. Okay, but what I'm saying is you can't do a 22-page, an 18-page, Marvel comic, and do it like a page a week. You just can't. You can't do
you
that.
can't.
So that's what I'm saying. It's like a whole different way of approaching the process
Un-
and the
unless
production on it.
I agree with you, Russ, but unless you're a Kirby and you can just knock them out.
Oh God!
Well, that's what. After you work on it a couple of decades, you have to get to that point where you're just knocking stuff out constantly.
It doesn't matter if you're knocking stuff out or not. Like the larger the page, the longer it's going to.
Oh
take.
yeah, I agree.
Oh yeah,
and it's about physics. It's not about how good you are. It's about physics. However good you are, you do it on A2, and it's going to take you 1.5 times longer. Simple as that. However quick you are. So, you can see why production has changed, where things have gone. Although, purely from a selfish perspective, I mean, Randy and I are looking at a project to do. I want to do it in black and white, and you think I want to do the best I can. I want to do. I want to at least reach towards the benchmarks that infer the kind of stuff that I want to do. And you think, well, no, I don't think I can. I don't think I can sit there with an A2 sheet and do a page of comic strip on it. It's just so big. Last time I did that, I I was 20 something, and I got told by the editor of 2018, no, we don't do it on that size anymore. So it's just a whole different process, whole different mindset of going to a page that big, and the kind of art that you can produce.
Yeah.
So you should never limit yourself. You should never sit to yourself, right, I'm going to do it on A3 instead of A2. Sorry, Americans, go look it up. I'm going to do it on 1.5 times size, and that means that I won't be able to put this kind of detail in that I'm looking at when I'm being inspired by these pages.
Mm-hmm.
I've got
You
some
simply
pages.
physically can't, but at the same time, you should still try and get as much into that page that for your style, for your story, that you can.
Yeah,
it's just it. I don't know. I'm going around in circles here on my own. So, it's like this. It's an ever-present issue with being an artist, especially a comic book artist. I think where you kind of like you're fighting against yourself. You're fighting against the process of the things that you really want to put down on the page. It's just and looking at this kind of stuff does both things. On the one side, it inspires you and leaves you in awe of just how good it is. Then on the other side, you think, oh my God, how could I ever get anywhere near it?
Look at that beautiful cross that he's pushing him over there.
Don't let it intimidate you. Yeah,
that's the thing. Yeah, don't. You've got to try and not let it intimidate you. Exactly. Yeah, it's beautiful lighting. That and the left hand panel as well. There.
Yeah, and look, he's removed on the other page. He's removed the wall again, so we can see the other guys.
Mm-hmm.
When he removed the wall to show the key.
Right.
Oh yeah.
He's removed the wall because the guys in the bottom right, bottom right, the guys in the doorway, and he's removed the wall so we can see the guy he's talking to instead of just having the bubble going out the door. Do you understand what I mean? No.
Down here, you mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's removed the wall so we can see the guy.
Yep. I was just looking at that great face. Almost maniacal. And then here, just great stuff. So I've got some European albums like Mobius's Blueberry material that looks like he did everything up on half pages, and they put them together into full pages when they collected them into an album. So everything is a half a page. Everything's divided in half pages. Maybe we'll look at some Mobius stuff here in the upcoming episode. Some great material, especially his Blueberry work and some of the Inkle work. It's a great shot right there. Are we still there? We're just looking?
Yeah, I was just looking. Sorry. I was muted.
I was
just blowing my nose.
I'm just looking at that left-hand page with the shadow of the guy's eyes and the move that one, the shadow over those eyes. It's just fantastic, isn't it?
It is.
That you see, that's where you can see the difference between like fine art and comic strip.
Yeah.
It's like those eyes shouldn't be shining out like that. If you're doing fine art, if you're so let's just get rid of modern art and impressionism, okay, but all that kind of stuff. Let's just look at classical representations, beautiful paintings, and the way that you would you construct light and dark and effectively trying to reproduce what you see in front of you, the world around you, and the eyes would never shine out like that because they would be in shade. But you can do that in comics, and that's what the storytelling aspect is all about, and that's why you can remove the wall and put the key in, and all these kind of things. That's what makes it special.
And if you look at the panels above that one, his eyes are shining as well in the two panels as well. You've got
to love white out eyes. They're just great.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Look at that though. He's grabbing him. He's really getting hold of him, isn't he? Snapping the leather bonds and bang, he's got him. Yeah.
Just such a great panel here.
Yeah.
Beating him up. Wre're. Gnya. What's that about? Gnya. Sounds like
Don't say that.
was like Rorschach.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, let's see inspiration. So it's a question from Ditko.
Look at his face at the bottom. He's smashed up. Look at that black eye he's got. That bottom
Yeah, he's
left-hand
giving him a
panel.
right corker, isn't he? Yeah.
He's really smacked him there. Hasn't he? Oh God! You can feel it, can't you? Look at it. The way his face is all dropped.
This is, and it's like amazing to see this constructed in the way that it is, all the straight panels and everything after looking at Colon's work.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh, ooh, ooh. There you go.
Donald Norman. Never heard that name before.
No, it's good though.
Yeah, nice line work.
Yeah.
Undying love.
Oh, we know what's going to happen here, don't we? It's going to end up with a corpse.
Different but so familiar. It's wonderful line work here. That face. This also must be a nom de plume of somebody. Love that negative space work in there. Detail. Obviously, that man is dead because his eyes are open.
Yeah, yeah. He's just fallen straight down dead.
Again, this is all line cross-hatching, line work, ink work.
It's not as effective as the others, though, is it?
No, it's not as slick.
No. Could be why the name's not familiar.
Yeah.
Oh no, did he
It's
get
pretty
the old,
straightforward comic book work here.
Oh no, he's stuck the old stake in and then chopped her head off.
That's what you have to do with vampires.
That's really American there. Then by the axe without the E.
Oh yeah. That's some of those panels. I'd be hard pushed to want to chop her head
That
off.
would make it an aches.
Aches.
Wow.
Then by aches and pains.
Done, head and body buried in different locations. The ritual is over. I am free. Of course he is.
She's kind of lovely, isn't she? I think maybe I'd just say, well, bite me.
Yeah. Looks like he's biting her anyway. The top panel where your thumb is.
Yeah, rah-rah.
Yeah. Nom, 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 nom.
Oh, that beard tickles.
Nom, nom, nom. Yeah. Nice line work here, though.
Yeah, from the light. Yeah.
That little rat. Out there.
Ratty.
Just to show, yeah, he's in a cellar.
That's Ratty. He's come back to get that guy.
Yeah,
now.
yeah.
He's brought
He's
his pal
thinking,
with him.
Oh, I've got more stuff to take back to the rat
The rat trap.
lair. The rat
Oh,
trap.
dear.
Oh no, he missed a heart.
Oh, but look how he didn't show the head because it's not there.
I'll never leave you forever.
No, the head's separate.
Yes,
Yeah,
I know.
it's just floating. It's just,
Brought the head with him.
but they've not shown the gore of the fact that the head's been chopped off.
Yeah,
That's what I mean.
just
Yeah.
ends
Just stops at the
Yep.
top of the panel. Wow, no.
both times.
And she's saying, he's looking at you. She's saying, look, where's my head? And he's like, no, I'm not looking at your boobs. There is no head.
Oh dear.
Breasts seem a little low here too.
Look at that. I hope the three of them will be very happy together.
Yeah.
The family might even grow if Ronaldo starts cutting up again.
Oh, God.
Ronaldo.
A touching reunion.
Look at that. He's got a little sailor costume on there. That's great. On top right.
And we might even start growing again. Might even grow if Ronaldo starts cutting up again. Although Esmeralda Seems the kind of girl who can piece things together. Now, why don't you piece together the next lot or plot in my monstrous mag?
Muh.
Island at World's End, Grey Morrow. Showing his stuff.
It's that Captain Slog.
This is beautiful. Log of the Celtic.
Nice water.
Yeah.
This whole story
Yeah.
is really, really nice.
Watery.
I tell you what, Archie Goodwin's writing a few stories, isn't he?
Oh, look at that. This is nice.
Well, it's
Yeah.
Abraham Lincoln in bed.
Yeah.
Or Captain Ahab.
Captain Ahab. Yeah.
Look at that hand. That blacked out hand in the center panel there, yeah. Mutiny.
Mutiny. Yep.
This is really nice.
Yeah.
Blam. Look at that hand holding that gun.
Kind of a nice change from the last one, but this is Grey Morrow again. He's the guy who painted the cover.
Wow.
He had a big advertising career for a long time. Did a lot of illustrative work. Did a lot of comic book work, especially for the romance, DC romance titles.
Yeah. Very good.
That's a nice shot. Nice contrast here.
Wow. Pacow.
No wonk. Just a macaw.
Should be a thud there, that bottom one, shouldn't there?
Yeah. Or a wonk.
Yeah, look at that.
At least it's not a flabadap.
Yeah.
Flub it up.
That'd be more like a
Although that is exceptionally like the cover. That
Yeah.
bottom right. That's just
Same
like
artist.
the cover.
Same
Yeah.
artist. Yeah. Tying in.
She's a bit more dressed, but lovely lines. Look at that second
Yeah.
panel there. The one above it as well on the left.
Yeah.
Well, even
It's
here,
like,
too, look at how he goes from thin to thick.
It's like a Alcala, isn't it? That kind of
Mm,
line on it. It's fabulous.
beautiful.
Again,
So,
it-
up here it just keeps getting more and more intense.
on the previous page, the left-hand panel, he's done that silhouette again where he's punching
Yeah.
the guy, and that's very effective, isn't it?
Mhm.
And then whack.
I was
gets it
just going to
across the back
say,
of the
lovely blacks,
head. Yeah.
Yeah,
Just
here
in the-
he's in half
yeah.
silhouette. Here, there's still some
just
great
in the
tone.
right places.
Yeah.
Really nice.
Well, there's a light emanating onto the face, just like here. Only not as severe, so it's great tone. But your main focus is there anyway. Impossible. How can she? Yeah.
See, Archie didn't spend too much time on this script, did he?
He's kicking him out. It's all, like we said before, it's all formula.
This is lovely.
You hit
That
that
is
note by
lovely.
that page and you just move on. Look at that pen.
Look at the use of that black at the top left-hand panel there with that
Yeah.
girl.
Yeah.
Yeah, the black. That's it's just fantastic, isn't it?
Very, very much comic strip material there
Yeah.
from that period. Yeah. And it's the beautiful scene shot here.
I like the way he's cheating with the lighting there.
Yeah.
It's, the light's coming from the right hand side, and the front of the steps are dark, which they
Yeah.
probably shouldn't be, and there's no shadows from the columns,
No.
Yeah, that's
even though
true.
the light is on the right hand side. And it's just, it doesn't matter. It's still, because it's all about the story.
Yeah.
It's all that same thing that this tip here, kids, tip here. It's like, learn the rules before you break them. And it's like,
Right.
this guy obviously knows about lighting. Obviously, no. And yet he's breaking rules here in order to make things clearer and succinct in the way that he's telling a story.
He had to have laid these lines down by brush, sitting there.
Yeah. Yeah, the way they're very organic. Yeah.
Yeah, very much so.
The thinner
Even up
ones,
here.
he's used a pen or a quill or whatever.
Yeah, probably a thicker pen point than a quill.
Yeah.
Still beautifully done. Just
Yeah.
this
wonderful.
this right here is just phenomenal. The difference in the line weights.
That last panel, you can imagine those two statues in sort of an orangey, yellowy color, can't you? With the light.
Yeah.
if you were colouring it.
Yeah, if you were colouring this, I'd put flat colour.
Yeah.
I wouldn't do anything else to it. Just flat colour. I think that's the problem with nowadays. We've got such great tools for colouring and painting that often colouring black and white art, for comic books, it gets overdone.
There's only a handful of people that know how to use it adeptly.
Well,
And
the other thing is
a lot of people really overuse it.
Yeah, there's a lot of popular black and white line work styles for the main publishers, which are I wouldn't call them simple, but they do leave a lot for the colorists to do.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
They've got lots of open spaces, and then they get colorists in who are obviously great at painting, and they fill in. And together it makes quite a good look. It's a really nice feel. But then other times you'll see that they'll have another artist on who doesn't draw like that and actually puts far more blacks down on the page, far more rendering, something more akin to this. And those same colorists will be used, and it will be overkill.
Yeah,
because they're fighting with the inking, rather than saying, okay, I'm going to knock back the colors here. I'm going to go flatter than this. I'm not going to use as many effects. I don't have to try and draw in musculature because the inker is, the penciler and inker have already done it. So it's using the right approach according to the inks, according to the pencils and the inks that you've got, rather than the same coloring all the time.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, like the last two Batmans that I've done, I've painted effectively. Now I lay a bit more ink down, but I've left open areas because I wanted to create a vibe, sort of like an animated vibe.
Yeah.
But then my Only Death Can Save Us stuff is all flat. It's just flat colors, highlight, low light. That's the end of it. And because it's quite graphic, and you just got to know what to do, when to do it. This is beautiful ink. Just absolutely love this.
No gore there, just a little blood running down the wrist. Popped him like a Sid. Like a grape. Swished him like a grape.
Oh dear.
Great line work. Look at the maniacal look on her face. Just crazy.
Pacow. But it was not the bear.
Oh, shut up.
Fell.
Oh,
You
oh,
shot
no.
Quick, run. Cheese it.
And again, here you're seeing something like Al Williamson.
Yeah.
Look to it, very strip feel to it. Again, Secret Agent Corrigan or Agent X9. Look at the beautiful cross hatching back here. Nice solids here for the rocks. Just enough smoke.
What's her name? Scythilla. Can't say that word.
Shogo.
Scythilla.
Bring him back. Bring him back to me.
Strange name. But yeah, there's fantastic pages, aren't there? Love all those lines that he does everywhere. It's absolutely brilliant.
Yeah. Just love that hand. And again, there's no outline.
Yeah.
There. The light is so intense. You don't need it. All your effect is right there. Expertly done. More water. Just beautiful. We're just going to blow up the island. I'm done with it. Monster in the smoke.
Oh.
Scythella.
Scythella, is it? Wow.
Probably Celia.
Yeah.
Cage might be silent. Celia.
Yeah. So why not just put Celia then?
Sturgis. You fool. No.
Ooh.
It's what happened to good old Shogoth. No one knows. He was never caught. But if it's you, but if he is, you can rest assured that it will be red-handed. And you'll be red-handed if you miss my next issue.
Rawr.
Again, Frazetta. We are at the 1 in 50 mark, 1 in 40 mark right now. Shall we go one more issue? Our audience just bumped up a little bit. Make sure you hit that like button, hit that love button. We're going through early issues of Eerie magazine. So we love that you're here. The chat is open. We're glad you're awake to watch some of this great stuff. If you haven't seen these early Eerie magazines,
Oh, look at that.
just phenomenal. We have one more issue to go, so
Yeah.
we might as well finish it up.
Oh, wow. Look at that. Boris is in there.
Everybody's mummy. Yeah.
Wally Wood, Angelo Torres. Wow.
That
Dan?
mummy on the left, that looks just
Yeah.
like Boris Karloff, doesn't it? That's,
Yeah.
I have to raise this up in order to read it here. What's that, William? No? Art by, Wally Wood and Dan Atkins.
Wally.
Beautiful inking by Dan Atkins, by the way.
Yeah.
Just phenomenal.
Yeah.
That picture.
He drew Doctor Strange as well, didn't he? Around the time I was telling about Colin and Marie Severin.
And everybody had a crack at it. Yeah.
It was like Shield, wasn't it? Everybody got a go on it.
Well, especially them Strange Tales. They were only 10 pages long. So I would imagine it was a great way to test people out.
Yeah.
As well. So.
Is this the last issue?
This is issue 5. Yes.
Right.
This is the last one in the volume.
We'll get through it then.
And there are some great stories in here. So, like the Mummy Stalks by Krinkle and scripts by Krinkle and Goodman. Art Reed.
There's that.
Great.
Yeah. Again.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Can't be. The person who died thousands of years ago that we can't insult has gone from the sarcophagus.
Yeah.
That's what it's saying now.
This is the letters
But he's
page
moving.
on the inside.
This has a great twist ending to it. This also is a very classic story. Beautifully rendered.
Americans can't draw bowler hats and police helmets, can they?
Not around them enough, I guess.
Oh yeah, like we see bowler hats every day of the week.
Yeah.
Oh, don't you? It's just constant wear over there, right?
A
We're
guy
constantly wearing bowler hats and eating bacon sandwiches.
a guy asked me that
Bobby caps.
when I was in Texas. He asked me, he said, do you guys all wear bowler hats and carry umbrellas? I said, no, not since about 1830.
It's always foggy over there too.
Yeah.
It's a pea super, good lubber duck.
More great cross hatching there. Little touches of ink wash.
This is a bit more like Rupert the Bear, this one.
That is obviously an English reference. I'm not familiar.
Rupert the Bear. No, the books were they were just panels like that with the lettering,
Okay.
wording, like a picture book.
Yeah.
Do you not know Rupert the Bear?
No.
Oh my god!
I don't.
When I worked on Postman Pat, they were done like that as well. There's 4 lines of text underneath the 4 pages on the page.
I was a Curious George kid, so the
Yeah.
monkey with no tail.
We didn't have Curious George. We had Rupert the Bear.
He always got into trouble. Dealing his boss was the man in the yellow hat. Yeah. Anyway.
Did Curious George not have a tail then? Isn't there this thing about some people saying he did have a tail and some people saying no, he didn't have a tail?
It all depends, I would imagine, on the story. Sometimes he did, sometimes he did.
Oh, I see. All right, well, there you go.
I was amazed. I was in Memphis one time. The one time I was in Memphis, the Art Institute there had a display of children's book illustrations.
Right.
And I had never realized that Curious George was all done in color pencils.
Huh.
And it's like, it was amazing to sit there and look at it and go, wow,
Yeah.
he did that in color pencils. That's crazy.
Huh.
But they also, in extremely low light, they had one of the original illustrations there from Alice in Wonderland,
All
where
right.
she's holding the swan mallet and the head is drooped down. Extremely low light, and in order to not affect the paper it was on. But it was a really small illustration too. You had to get right up on it in order to see it, and it's like, oh my god, this is
They're
amazing.
beautiful.
Just crazy. They had a lot of great illustrations there on display.
Morning, Sugar. Sugar's here.
Sugar, hope you're doing well.
Look at that.
Red Dress Press. Good morning. Good morning, everyone. Yeah, he's being attacked by a mummy.
I used to be attacked by my mum.
That's a whole other story.
She used to hit me with a bummy spade.
It's better than a coal shovel.
Well, it was a wooden spoon. She chased me around the house with a wooden spoon. Chased me upstairs.
Got my ass whipped with a coal shovel one time for sneaking a 80-page giant Batman 80-page giant into the house.
Well, if you're going to get hit with a coal shovel, that's what you're going to get hit for.
Yeah. Well, smacked in the ass. I had a blister for a good week.
Oh,
I remember my brother running up the stairs, and my mum hit him with a wooden spoon, and he snapped on his bum.
oh dear.
She's like, "You'll be paying for that."
I think they call that child abuse, don't they now?
Yeah, I think so.
Oh,
Yeah.
my mom had the fastest hands I ever remember anybody ever having. I could be slapped and not realize it until she was done. Just a quick, I seen that look. Whap.
My mum threw an iron at me, but luckily it was plugged in.
Yeah. Anyway, so much for those horror stories. Here we go. It's a great twist ending here on the next page. That's no mummy. That's a werewolf.
Well, it's a mummy and a werewolf.
It's a werewolf mummy.
A were-mummy?
Yeah.
That's not right. You can't be a werewolf and a mummy.
Well, this one was. Just waiting for the moon to hit it.
I like the way this detective wanders around in his hat and his coat's always done up.
Yeah.
He must be getting very warm.
It's cold where he is.
Thud. Thud, thud, thud. So he just killed it with a silver handle after all that.
Yeah. Just took him out.
He's just hit him with his cane. What's that?
Yeah. He's got a silver handle, so it kills him. Thud,
Thud, thud, thud. Have that. All those werewolf movies, they all got it wrong, didn't they? Just hit him with a stick.
Yeah.
That's right, kiddies. The mummy was a werewolf. What does that make the daddy? Well, that's another story. And so it's on to the next one. The Jungle by the great Al Williamson.
Yeah.
Look at that detail.
Look at that.
Beautiful line work back behind.
Again, like no, there's no outlines anywhere.
No.
Just brilliant.
There's a little one right here along the side.
Yeah, just a few.
Some of the foliage. Yeah. Other than that, you're looking at solids. Just some beautifully rendered work here. Yeah. Cousin Eerie as one of the locals.
Oh dear.
With a bow and arrow.
That looks like Alfred E. Newman.
Potbelly, it does, yeah. That's what happens when you have Jack Davis draw your mascot character, be the main illustrator for your mascot character. Wonderful Al Williamson signature down here in the open negative space.
Very nice.
We'll spend more time on Williamson when we go over the Star Wars comic strip.
Yeah.
So we'll probably have to do a volume of that. Red dress in the house. Good morning. Says, my mom had Granny, a 2x4 made in the shape of an old lady.
2x4.
2x4. Yeah. That's wood.
2x4. Yeah,
Piece of wood.
piece of wood.
That or a
broom
broom
handle.
handle. Oh,
Well, there's some
Buddy.
lunatics around, isn't there?
my mom had those damn Tupperware spatulas. Yep. This poor guy was cursed twice. Yep. So when we moved and our sandbox was torn down, they found around 20 of them buried in the backyard. Don't know how that happened. And she kept buying new ones just to whip you with.
Oh, I thought she was talking about 20 mummies.
No. The Tupperware spatulas. It's mysteriously disappeared. Gave him a proper thumping, he did. Yeah.
God bless you. Give him a proper thumping.
Again, some more beautiful ink work here.
Apples and pears.
Yeah, look at that face at the top left with it. Yeah,
Love that detail.
Yeah,
fabulous,
amazing.
isn't it? Yeah, look at that. It's great.
Just
isn't
all
it?
of it. It's just gorgeous.
Yeah.
it is.
Look at that hand drawing the gun in the center panel. See that hand? Those
Yeah.
the bones in the hand and the
These
knuckle.
is this all cross hatching? There's no
There's no
Yeah.
brushwork
there's
on
no
there, is there?
no
there's no wash on any of this.
No, it's just solid black and white all the way through. But it's just beautiful, almost like ink smears putting in that foliage.
Yeah.
It's
Lovely.
phenomenal work. The whack.
So whack.
The whack.
Look at that. Look at that top
Little-
panel there.
Little room to breathe. Yeah.
Yeah.
Fabulous,
Yeah.
isn't it?
I don't ever remember Williamson doing any Tarzan material, but he would have been great at it. At this point, Tarzan, I think, was being done by Manning at the time. So
Do you know? I think one of the best on that left-hand page with the guy sitting in the tree, you know, at the start. For me, one of the best parts of that panel is the fact that it doesn't fill the page. There's a space at the left-hand side, and then you get the caption leading in. Do you understand what I mean?
Oh,
it
yeah,
would have easy
absolutely.
to finish that panel and lose that, and that caption might have been lost somewhat.
Yeah.
Just a great lead.
It's great stuff.
Yeah, it's fantastic, isn't it? Look at that.
And again, all cross hatching here, and the pants are all just cross hatching.
Oh,
There's a
not
little bit of
piranhas.
zip screen back here.
Yeah.
Just a nice touch here as well. Just a little zip screen, a little bit there.
Piranhas are like quicksand, aren't they? In the 70s, we all
Yeah.
thought we were going to die from piranha attacks or quicksand sinkings. Overplayed it a bit.
I think he's doing the lettering on this, you know.
You reckon?
Yeah.
Might be.
I might be wrong, but it's just the way it seems to be set down. It's beautifully done.
Mhm.
I think he's doing the lettering on that, but I may be wrong.
Well, he's also doing at this point a lot of strip work, so
Yeah.
he might have a letterer that works with him, or he might be doing it himself. Absolutely.
Look at that! Look at that blacks on there.
And that's his work
Yeah.
here as well.
Lovely.
Until
Great.
Williamson.
Great hair, just good
amazing.
hair, and just great hands.
Almost looks like it was done off a photo.
Yeah.
Just such great work. Yeah, and hair.
That last panel, like,
Look how the
vines.
sorry, the hair looks like on the bottom, that last panel, the hair looks like the background foliage, doesn't it, on that guy when you can see his back.
Yeah.
That one, yeah.
Almost
it's-
blends in. Yeah.
Yeah. Because he would, wouldn't he?
Mhm.
People do blend in, don't they? That's camouflage.
Yep. His personal life gets so tangled. I've heard of
Guys.
guys being stuck with clinging vines, but this is ridiculous. Oh well. Since Leo's all tied up. Better take our machete and chop into my next terror tail. Stick in great stuff. Here's more Ditko.
Ditko, look at that.
Black magic.
Look at those Doctor Strange fingers there on
Yep.
the bottom panel.
Very much so.
If you see the guy demonstrating next to it, so to speak, if you put a fiery head on it, would be Dormammu, wouldn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Because he looks like Baron Mordo, that guy in that face, doesn't he?
Yeah. Russ had to step out for a second. It's coming back in.
Right.
It's probably his internet left us. You're back on, Russ.
Is he back?
I think you're back. Can't hear you, Russ.
Am I here?
And you're.
Yeah,
Oh, there you are. All right.
Yeah.
Good. There you are. More Ditko.
Blinking, blimey, bloody internet.
Negative space. Just beautifully done.
Very
And
Doctor
ink
Strange.
wash. Yeah, very Doctor Strange. He drew up a villain, the Spider-Man Doctor Strange crossover.
Yeah.
That looks a lot like this guy.
Yeah.
A whole lot like this guy.
Look at that
Me.
hand there. Look at that hand in that center panel on the right-hand page with that guy with the head, the Mordo guy.
Guy who looks like Gandalf. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's Gandalf the Grey here.
With fish eyes.
You
Yeah.
were too talented an apprentice. to
His
so
eyes are
use
far
our
too wide
art.
apart.
I did
You
not.
can't trust a man
Raise.
with eyes as wide apart as that.
That's right.
Yeah. I did not raise you, educate you for evil such as this. You taught me well, old one.
Those hands in the last panel are real Doctor Strange spell hands.
Yeah.
aren't they?
Well, well, how can you do that with your fingers? Whoa.
Yeah, I remember trying to do that when I was a kid, like with Spider-Man, just touching, touching the pressing the web thing with
Yeah.
his fingers bent right round the other way. It's impossible.
Mhm.
Ow! I'm doing it now. It
Yeah, I was
hurts.
doing it. I did it as well.
Stupid old man, I'll take and break your staff. You can't hurt me.
Well, it's Quasimodo again. He gets around, that guy, doesn't he?
Yeah.
Loving the webbing and the
He
smoke.
can't hold a job down, can he? Though he's always with somebody else.
Well, the trouble is all the people he works with can't get on with him because he's always got the hump.
Wah, 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 wah.
Wah, wah, wah. Thank you. I'll be here all week. Try the veal.
Look at that.
And as you ward off my spells, so do I turn away yours.
Oh, I found a
We've
biscuit.
played enough games. I have business in the crypts. Great stuff. Carrying that coffin out.
Nice webbing.
Suddenly
Yeah.
Quasimodo appears. Yeah. It's great stuff. Great smoke here too. Oh, and that skeleton. Look at that.
Mm.
Just
The
great
web on
old
that. Wow.
cobwebbed. Yeah.
He's having fun with this one, isn't he?
You can tell. Yeah. Little. It's like a little demon character.
Isn't that just something with flame in it?
Must be.
Right.
Oh yeah, it's an urn. Yep. I thought that was an eye and a nose there. Shows you how my eyesight's going. It's early in the morning.
Who said that?
Say not the words, Valdar. My teachings have ever been false. It's well. You stayed, old fool, for now. I'll show you the limits of your teaching, however true. Once started, it cannot be stopped. Regus, Mellum, whatever. Vex. Oof. I resurrected your mom.
Look at that guy looking at that girl. God, you see him. What the? My God.
Is that a medieval your mom joke?
I think
I
so.
think so.
She's a bit of a MILF.
Look at that hand coming out there. It's not a Ditko hand, is it, on the top left? The guy's hand's a Ditko hand, but that girl's hand is a sort of a normal hand.
Yeah. She's back from the dead.
No, I'm going to strangle you. Rawr.
Sturdy girl, isn't she?
That's what I was thinking.
Master, she's killing me, Master. Come on. Is it Gwen Stacy?
If we called the flesh.
Oh no,
Would
he's
you
pushed
think
his.
the long dead brain would retain
No,
its knowledge
Can't
and
be.
sanity?
No.
There are no spells for decayed minds. Famous quote.
Ooh. Oh dear. So where's the girl gone then? Where'd the girl go?
Looks like he's tearing her apart here.
No, she's gone. She's like wasted away.
Carrying her
Oh,
back down.
yeah.
And then he
He
became.
gets it. He gets
He
it.
gets
goes
it
with
as
it.
well.
Return my hands. What's happening to my hands? No, it can't be. No.
When they say it was a play on words, he didn't raise him as a child. He raised him from the dead.
Ooh.
Good old Gandalf there. I tried to warn you, stop you. But in your lust for power, you wouldn't listen. Perhaps you might have guessed. Yeah.
It's always lust for power, isn't it?
Whom I trained and raised. Raised from the dead. Yes, you did that, poor girl. Well, kiddies. That's the way the conjurer crumbles. Poor Valdar. Even his servant, Simon, is pretty choked up. Pretty choked up about the whole thing. You're going to be choked up about my next yell yarn.
Cute.
Hitting their stride here. A matter of routine. Gene Colan again.
Oh, he's changed his style here.
It's a little looser.
It's
His
more
face is-
cartoony.
Yeah.
Perhaps he didn't have as much time.
Could be.
I'm going to say, I think he's just spending a couple of days on these things, you know.
Oh, this
Yeah,
is more
this
like
is-
it.
Look at
Right,
that.
okay, yeah.
This is very quick, but very pretty.
That one on the right there. Yeah, it's just.
Yeah.
It's a real Colin trope, that, isn't it? The way he does that hand coming behind the character towards you.
Oh my God. Very much Baron Blood, Night Force. Used to have a house that every room was a different place in time. It's an old DC comic.
Oh my God. Wow.
Almost looks like Kolchak Night Stalker there. Great negative space hat at work. No lines, no shadow, just a hat. Which he drops it when he gets into the next world.
Yeah. Tearing him to pieces. I was killed in a car wreck driving from station. This is the land of the dead. Run.
Run away. It's time to be attacked by monsters. No.
I'm alive. Alive.
Look of fear in his eyes.
It's that crocodile again.
Yeah, it's that manfish guy. No.
You're the crocodile from last issue. Get away. Here's a quick couple of panels.
Oof.
Beautiful gray tones here.
Look at that. And he says, at the top of the page, he says, I'm alive. He says, they all think that at first. If you aren't dead now, you soon will be. Look at that. Wow. God. Whack.
That
have a hatchet, and I'm not afraid to swing it. Silence.
So- This is not a time for bargaining.
Only of reckoning.
Yeah. Oh
There's
dear.
nothing but silence, save for the dry crackle of the ledger pages as they turn. Your own anguish, sobs. This final entry's never been made. He shouldn't have been called. Not yet. It's a break in the routine. Adults, greedy bloodlusting caused this. Let the wretch go. We'll have him for good soon enough.
Bloody
Running.
bitches.
Running off.
Can't get away from them. We must be getting close to time.
Yeah, I think we're past it.
Yeah.
We are just barely. We have one more story, I believe, one or two left to
You
go.
just flick through it.
Dr. Griswold's file. Again, Master Serio.
Yeah, it's nice. Lovely work.
There's the bottom panel again where they're laying down on the, in the laboratory again.
Yeah.
That Frankenstein shot.
Always end on an up note. Yeah. More beautiful work.
Crash. Oh, look at him smashing him.
Just great.
It's almost a Ditko panel right at the end there with that
It is.
face.
Yep, very much so.
So it's a
There
bit
are
like a
little
Gollum.
flashes of that in his work. Yeah.
It's a bit like a Gollum story.
Yeah.
That's the original Gollum, kids,
Nice shot.
not
Yeah.
the Lord of the Rings Gollum.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ancient Hebrew legend.
Lucille, no.
For shame, Doc. Imagine forgetting your late wife had once been a patient with her name in your eyes. With her name in your files. Oh, Awa.
Picked a fine time, Lucille. Picked a fine time.
Look at that on that panel there. It says
That's what money you'll say.
the Ermine coat I priced at Murchison's only £2,500, darling. 25, who says 2,500 in England for us? 2,500.
£2,500. 2,500 of your new British pounds, please. It only cost me 20 guineas.
Yeah.
Easy way.
Wow,
To a
that's
tough
an
circle.
amazingly good bottom.
Yeah.
There's their creepy universe again.
Yeah.
Easy way.
Another
to a
half a
tough
page
circle.
ad. They probably didn't have clearance to run, or it was too
Mm.
too violent. Maybe, I don't know. Angelo Torres to finish off the issue. Beautiful wash work
Yeah, lovely.
and some solids.
Look how how organic those the way that he's done the brushwork on the plants and the bird. It's just you can feel it swaying in the breeze. It's just
Yeah.
amazing.
Fantastic. Same here. Bird in front. Just beautiful looking.
I don't know if there's some photographic reference going on there. That's
Yeah.
it's wonderful.
More great foliage. Just a little bit of wash back here. Just to show a little difference in the wash, just to add to the look of the foliage.
Mm.
Same here. Just light touches. Just enough to drop
It's
it back so
framed
foliage
in that. Yeah.
just pops. Yeah. It's working on his grounds, form, middle, and background.
Mm.
It's great. It's a little white, little bit of white sunlight.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's on that panel above it as well. Looks really
Those
nice.
are probably scratched in. To the
Yeah.
ink.
Yeah.
Yeah, here too. Yep.
Very effective. Looks like it's raining, doesn't it?
Just a night's touch, just enough to get a little light in. Look at that.
Rawr. It's got that gnyar at the start again.
Yeah.
Did they get
Yeah,
away? This.
You have this great dinosaur, but this beautifully detailed root and just stump of a tree sitting here in the foreground. It's beautiful.
Look at those hats on them as well. That left-hand
Yeah.
hat. It's fabulous, isn't it?
I think he was just born in that boat.
It's fabulous.
Oh Lord, it's devouring Croft.
Oh Lord, it's devouring Croft. Poor chap.
I thought that thing got you with the dugout. No, Mr. Douglas, I got away after sounding the horn. Oh, that must have been what it was. It was that tusk. That tusk horn. I must have blew it. Yep. Something stirring.
So something stirred. Wow.
Again, just gorgeous. And the lights running through. Might be rain. A little bit more of that here. Face. Great. Tyrannosaurus here. I don't know if we have one more story. I think we do.
Joe Orlando.
Joe Orlando again. Yeah. His cousin. Eerie
Vampire Slayer.
I drove the stake home.
There's Alfred E. Newman again sitting on the wood.
Yeah.
Steak.
Again, that cartoony Orlando look
Yeah.
very different from the front of the book.
Yeah.
Just kicking it off. What do you mean? I get to have fun with it? Oh, okay. Here we go. You have to have it in by when? Oh, all right.
Careful, you dolts. Is that Mary Jane? At the top.
Almost. Yeah.
Close, isn't it? Yeah.
Hairstyle of the day.
Bigger chin.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not as nice as Ramita's.
No.
No.
Vampire, unholy fiend. Now suffer the kiss of the stake.
Oh, my neck. Oh.
Lord, what have I done? I must have been mad.
I would think that slender flame could have such strength. Her arms are so tight. I can't. Hurry to my neck. Lunchtime. It's another yeah.
Oh dear. Twin sister. Brilliant. She's a ghoul. Oh
Get
dear.
what's left when you're finished. Whoa.
Remember your promise for helping out last night. I get what's left when you're finished.
Look at that. Look at that. After the way you acted, you wouldn't think they'd have him for dinner for 2 nights in a row. Want a double date? Look him up.
Looks like the countesses are really bearing down on Alex. After the way he acted, you wouldn't think they'd have him for dinner. Yeah, 2 nights in a row.
Look at that advert. This plant actually eats insects and bits of meat.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's the Venus flytrap.
It ate Charles Darwin.
Yeah.
Better Venus flytrap than a Spanish flytrap, I guess.
Oh dear.
That
Twin
tune's
sister.
going to be in my mind all all day now.
Feeling creepy. Yeah, creepy universe. Big Frankie. 2 feet tall. Big Frankie. Still the skull cup. They must have had an extra amount of those because they enlarged the ad.
That big Frankie, Randy, is a giant 2 foot Frankenstein.
Yeah. It's a whole 2 feet tall.
Giant 2 feet. So
Yeah.
with arms that move. Whee.
Yeah.
Modern ad for the archives. Wonder why they lopped off different ads.
I
They
think some of
couldn't
these
have
ads,
clearances.
I don't know that all of these ads are. I mean, obviously the ones with creepyuniverse.com are new.
I knew.
But
Yeah.
I think some of these are made up.
No, I think some of them actually come out of the Warren magazines. I think they printed what they could and they substituted.
Yeah, but I'm saying I think some of them.
There.
I think some of them might be made up.
I wonder what was here originally that they had to cover over.
Come back next week.
Yeah, next
Like
issue.
Great John Severn that we covered last episode.
Yeah.
All right, folks, that's the creepy archive or the Eerie Archives.
Volume 1
book.
Great fun, great book, great investment for $10 at a show.
Yeah. Showing off now.
I want to thank everybody for watching. Everybody that's here, thanks for the likes and the loves and the attention. Thanks for being in the chat, Sugar. Appreciate you greatly. Nita, appreciate you too. Russ, tell folks how they can find you.
You can get me at russleach.com. There you go. You can find out all about me there. If you're interested in what I do, go sign up on Instagram. Follow me there. That's where I put all my artwork once a day. I'll pop something up there from the archives or new. And or you could always sign up for my email list so you can find out what's coming up down the pike. I'm currently on Batman in Europe, and Only Death Can Save Us Book 2 is approaching its finale as far as getting it produced. Should be out to people in March. So there you go. Find out everything you need to at russleach.com.
Sweet.
We can see the pain in your eyes, Russ, with your cold.
Oh, just
yeah, we hope you're feeling better real soon.
Feeling crap.
You can see it.
I'm not good.
You need to go to bed.
Yeah. Glenn, tell us how they can find
you. Get me on the usual places like Facebook and Instagram and all those things. Or you can hit me up, as they say, and I can send you a copy of my book, which is my trips to Jack Kirby's home in the late 80s, early 90s. And with that, you get the DVD. You can find all my books on Amazon. There's about 10 and lots of magazines on there. One magazine being Comics Unlimited, which is the 100-page magazine about comics that I produce every quarter. And soon, when Luke gets his website up, you might see this, which is my character Hatch. I'm trying to get it launched, but people are struggling with their website, their crowdfunding platforms. So we'll see what's going on with that. But you can get that there.
Everything takes a foundation that's not going to break the first minute it's up. So they have to be careful. They have to make sure. And folks, I want to again tell you how much I appreciate you all watching. I've been your host, Randy Zimmerman. We're here every Friday morning at 5 a.m. and archived over at the Great Indie Comics Network. So make sure you go over there and take a look. There's a lot of great artwork that we've looked at in the past. If you haven't seen them before, go over there and definitely take a look at them. 3 episodes on Steranko, Nick Fury that are unbelievable. John Burns, Elsewhen. We just went 2 episodes here on Eerie 2 weeks ago. We did the Alien movie adaptation by Walt Simonson, and there's more Simonson coming up. There's more Alex Toth definitely coming up. A lot more John Buscema as well. We're going to take a look at some of the great stuff. If you have some great sequential artwork out there you would love for us to go through, let us know. Send us a comment, write it in the chat over on YouTube. Make sure you go over to YouTube and subscribe to the Indie Comics Network as well. There's a lot of great programming over there. Take a look at everybody's work. Also on Sunday morning, Russ and Glenn and myself usually, and whoever else we can corral that early on a Sunday morning, all get together on the Sunday Funnies program. and talk about the different comics that we love. We don't necessarily show them off like we do on this show, but we'll talk about them or show off some cartoons or something. I'm not sure what we're going to do this Sunday yet, but open for suggestions. If you have any ideas, let me know, and we'll go from there. Other than that, folks, we really want to tell you how much we appreciate you being here. If you know some great comic art, go out there and show it off. Show off this fantastic art form that we love so much. And visit your local retailer. Go through those boxes. You never ever know what you can find, or what your local retailer might just want to give you a discount on because they know that you'll appreciate it, and they'd be happy to have a few extra bucks to help cover their light bill and the like. Everybody's straining right now, thanks to the wonderful economy, and support your local retailer any way that you possibly can. So you can find me over at arrowcomics.store. Take a look at the stuff that's over there. There's 2 issues of Herobot Zero. There soon will be a 2nd issue of Revolt available for individual sales. We just started the Chrome Dog crowdfunder, I believe, over on Indiegogo that Justin Sweet is doing, and Luke Stones has working on the art for. That has a whole nother Arrow tier over there available for you to buy, as well as the first Arrow tier that was also available over at the Rift Riders campaign. If you missed out on that, gives you an opportunity to get some great Arrow work. There's a little bit of Russ in there. There's a little bit of Glenn in there, and there's a little bit of me in there as well. Herobot Zero is available over there. Calico, Paragon are all available for your reading enjoyment.
Could I just say,
yeah,
in the next issue of Comics Unlimited, which is out end of this month, there's an interview with Mr. Russ Leach here, and there's also, I think it's your 3rd part story about Arrow Comics as well. So
yeah, it's a long-winded article that I had to cut way back down on the last incarnation of Arrow before this one. So, and then next issue will cover the current incarnation and how everything got around to it.
It's good reading. Great interview with Russ as well.
Great.
It was fun.
Some nice artwork there as well. Beautiful. I wish I could have given you more pages. I think it's 10 pages. I wish I could have given you
Quite
more.
a lot.
Yeah. To put more artwork in, but it's
Well,
it's great.
Cool.
yeah, it was good. It looked good. Yeah.
And if you were any type of wagering on Scott Rosema, you lost. He didn't show up this episode. So maybe next time, Scott, you need to start setting your alarm. Brian, you need to get on this show. We need you up here as well. The more voices looking at this stuff, the more eyes on it, the better, the more fun it'll be. So, not that these aren't fun. These are great loads of fun. And if, like I said, if there's somebody else that you want us to take a look at, make sure you let us know. Run a comment on YouTube, or let us know on the Indie Comics Network. We'll be happy to accommodate you. All right. We'll see you next time, folks. Sunday morning, 9 a.m., Sunday Funnies. Next Friday, 5 a.m. for Comics by Night. More Simonson, folks, or do you want to look at somebody else?
Mobius, whatever you want. Simonson.
Any
Do you want me to do my Bolland book?
Yes.
We can do your Bolland book if you want. Absolutely.
Yeah, I'll do my Bolland book next week.
Right. Excellent.
I might have one as well that we can go through and take a look at.
I've got a massive one. Giggity.
Sounds great. We'll do that. Folks, take care. Have a great week. Have a good weekend. Be careful out there. Take care of yourself. And we will see you soon. That is not the one I wanted to run. I want to run this one.
Have a question or comment for us to address on the show? Have a topic you want us to talk about? Email us at indiecomicsnetwork@gmail.com. Want your comics to arrive in pristine condition? Head over to GeminiComicSupply.com and save 10% on your next Gemini mailer order or anything in the Gemini Comics Supply store. Use coupon code RAGIN10. That's RAGIN 10.
We also want to mention that Mike Jimmy has a Kickstarter running right now for Life on Korra. So go over there and check that out. It's a great book. It's going to be a lot of fun to get that and read it all in one sitting. Here we go.
we throw our heads back and laugh. Ready?
Now on Sunday mornings, longtime independent comics creator Randy Zimmerman brings to you a podcast that talks about the lighter and more whimsical side of comics, the fun side of comics. That's right. Sunday Funnies is back Sunday morning, 9 a.m. on the Indie Comics Network on YouTube. Check it out. Special guests, great comic talk, good times. See you there.
What was that? This is not a charade. We need total concentration. Now, once again, this time with theory.